as we're learning more about Illustrator, we're to the point now where we need to talk about working with layers and using layers when we draw things. So if you watched the information on creating a template, you saw there that it made a template layer and then a new layer on top for us to draw. So let's take a little longer look at the Layers panel. So let's start by drawing some shapes. And so here I'm going to draw a circle. And then I'm going to draw a square. And we'll change the colors as we go. So here's a square. And notice when I drew the square automatically went on top of the circle. So as you draw things, they go on top of the shape that you drew before. So I'm going to use the Polygon Tool to make a triangle. So if I click and drag now, I'm going to use my arrow key, my down arrow key, and that's going to give me a three-sided shape. And then let's change the colors for that. And let's reposition it because I want these to be overlapping. So notice this triangle shape that I drew is on top. So each thing I draw goes on top. And so some artists like to use just only one layer. They don't use multiple layers. They draw on one layer. And then if they want to arrange things, there's some ways that you can arrange your shapes on one layer. So the first way that I'm going to show you is that you can select a shape that you have, and then you can go to Object and then go to Arrange. And under Arrange, you can either send something completely to the back or completely to the front, or you can use these forwards and backwards to move them through one step at a time. Now, when you have very complex drawings, this could be a little bit challenging, but since we only have 3, let's go ahead and choose Send to Back. And now notice the triangle went behind everything else that's there. If I come back here and I say Arrange and I say Bring Forward, it will bring it forward one step, and then it should end up in between the circle and the square. So notice that worked pretty well. It brought it in between the circle and the square. Now, something else you can do is over here on the toolbar. Right now we have it drawing in normal mode, which means each item goes on top. But if I wanted something to go behind something else, like say I select the square, I can ask to draw behind. And then when I draw something like a star, that will go behind the square. So let's change the color so you can see exactly where it is. Okay, so notice now the star did go behind the square, even though I drew the star after the square was drawn. So you can use these little buttons here to draw behind something or to draw in front by clicking back and forth here. So you can draw everything on one layer and then use your drawing options and your menu to change the stacking order of the things that you have.